Welcome back to India! When you travel the world for a year, you see and experience so much, and we want to share our daily travels with you. Unfortunately, a hard drive failure means we have to tell the middle a little bit differently. So, welcome to Storytime with the Happy Hoppies in this edition of the Lost Episodes. So, we were in Mumbai and we had to get to Kolkata, which is on the other side of the country. And so our flight didn't leave Mumbai until like 11 p.m. So we had got to the airport a little bit early to just get some work done. And then as we made our way through security though, that was the first time that we were actually stopped for the drone. So I had the drone in my pack-safe bag, which Peter held most of the time like when we were traveling, but like through the airport, you know, that was my personal bag underneath the seat. So this is our 44th country. We haven't flown to all those countries, but we've gone through the airport quite a few times at this point. They would stop to like look at it, but then that was it. But in India, they stopped, they looked at it, and the guy said, "You can't fly with this." And I was like, huh? He said, "You have to put it underneath the plane." And I said, "Well, we don't have any checked bags. Like, this is all we have." And he called his like supervisor over and they were like staring at it and they were like looking at me. And anyways, I just kind of, you know, looked at them and I was like, well, we've never had this issue before. So they kind of looked at each other. They didn't want to be the one that caused the issue. And so then they're like, just put it away and take it through. And also, it was super funny because while my actual backpack was going through the security scanner, they said, "We see like two metal objects. What are these?" And I said, "Well, the tweezer and my nail clippers." But here's the thing, my nail clippers had fallen to the bottom of my bag at some point when we were back in Europe, and I had looked and looked and looked and couldn't find them. But then when they were asking me what it was, I was like, "Oh yeah, my nail clippers." So I get back through security, I was like, "Peter, the security scanner found my nail clippers." So I knew exactly where in my bag they were.
And with all the moving around and whatnot, you know, we're not sure if exactly that happened in Mumbai or if that happened later in Kolkata when we were flying out of Thailand, but anyway.
It was one of those.
Covered it now. And when we arrive, it's like super early in the morning, like 2 a.m. And so Lisa picked out this hotel that was really close to the airport that we could get to, crash, and be able to get up and explore and move to another hotel the next day. And she also picked it because it supposedly included a free airport transfer shuttle.
Yeah, so I had sent all the information to them ahead of time and they didn't email me back. And so like I remember when we were in the airport, like I just emailed like, "Hey, we are coming, are you gonna pick us up?" They didn't reach out to us, so when we landed, I checked my email, they hadn't reached back, and so we're like, all right, well let's just give them a call now that we're here. And had it been the daytime, we probably just would have walked to the hotel, because I think it was that close. It was like 2 kilometers, but it was 2 a.m. and we weren't gonna walk. So we were waiting. You actually did call.
So I did call, and they're like, "Yep, we got your reservation, blah, blah, blah." And it sounded like they were maybe gonna send somebody, but then I called again and then nobody was coming and we waited around. And so anyway, we finally gave up and decided we're just gonna hire an Uber because it's not that expensive anyway.
Right, and so we waited till 3 a.m. to order an Uber because he did talk to somebody and we thought they were coming. We didn't want them to come and then us not be there.
Again, broken language,
right.
So we're not entirely communicating.
Yeah, you think you're communicating, but you're really not.
Yeah. Anyway, so we finally get an Uber and we get this amazing Uber driver. Turns out, well, more on this in a minute, but he's a young guy, super great. He drove us to the hotel, and when we got there, it's this little alley that was kind of sketchy, but there were quite a few lights and like little hotels in this alley, but it was just weird how it was just this narrow little alley and everything was shut down.
With like bars over the doors.
So like, you know how at a mall we roll something down over the front of the shop? That's basically what they had done. Even at the hotel we were supposed to be staying at. So once we finally figured out which one of these shop fronts was supposed to be our hotel, we're like, man, it's all closed up for the night.
Yeah.
And so we call the place and somebody finally answers like, "Oh, we're full."
And we're like, no, we have a reservation.
We're like, we have reservations, it's on booking, here it is, you can look at it.
We told you
like,
we were gonna get it this time.
We just talked to you on the phone, like, what's going on here? So then that hotel's like, yeah, sorry, we'll have to refund or whatever, blah, 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 but we don't have space. You can stay at this other hotel, like, down the alley a little ways and across the street. And
then this other random guy like pops out of the alley, and then he's trying to help us and communicate because he knew a little English as well. And so it was kind of nice, but in a way like, why are you in this random alley at 2 a.m.? Or 3 a.m. at this point. So then we go across the street, and he didn't have to refund us because we did it with booking.com.
That's right,
so we hadn't paid yet. And so then we get to the hotel across the street. They're like, hey, let's go over here. Well, here's the thing. Then we wake this, hotel owner up because they're just like sleeping in like the lobby. And he comes out and, kind of woken up out of his sleep, obviously. And then he's like, oh yeah, sure, we have a room and it's this price. And that was just like more than, the other hotel had just been.
I want to say it was like double.
Double, and also more than the hotel that we had booked for the next night. And so I just knew that for the area that was like really high. And I just didn't have a good feeling about this part of town now that we're like have our feet on the ground. So our Uber driver, like before he was about to leave, and we're like, wait, can you just hang on a sec because we might need you. So thankfully he stuck around, and we did just leave there because we're like, this is weird. We've never had this happen before. Let's just go on to where we have our hotel for the next night. See if they have any availability for this night, even though it's technically now the next day, and see if we can sleep there. So that's what we did.
Yeah, so we got back in the Uber, and I, pulled up my phone, and before I booked the ride on Uber to go to the next place, he pulled up his phone, so he was ready to accept it right away, so he would make sure he was the one that got it. So we did that, he got the ride, and then he took us on to the next place. But on the way, we were chatting, and he was able to speak pretty good English.
Yeah,
so we actually
he was.
Able to communicate pretty well, and he was very helpful. But anyway, he was like, oh, you guys haven't been here before? Well, let me take you down to this one part of town where they have all these Christmas lights, and it's really, really cool, if you guys don't mind. And we're like, sure, let's do it. Let's go for it.
Let's go on an adventure at 3 a.m. and it was awesome.
It was so cool. It was like all these Christmas lights decked out on this street, all these buildings, and I think it was going over the road at one point. It was really cool, and I wish I would have taken some pictures, but I didn't. We were relying on Lisa's camera, but again, that footage is gone, so we don't have anything of those beautiful Christmas lights. But it was amazing.
It was awesome. And the next day, obviously, when we were exploring, we did see those, but that was during the day, and it looked nothing like it. So we wouldn't have been there at night again, so it was so nice that he took that detour, took us that way. So we finally arrived at the hotel that we were supposed to stay at 4 a.m. So that's the reason that we didn't book that hotel for that night, because it was about an hour away from the airport. They had like a door sliding down over their front entrance, but we knocked. The security guard, he came and let us in, because he's like, oh, just let you in. But then we go into the lobby and we wake the poor guy up that's like on duty for the night. He was sleeping on like a couch behind the reception. And obviously he's woken out of his sleep, and so he's just kind of confused at what's happening.
And so we're like, yeah, we have a room tomorrow night here, but we're wondering if we can go ahead and get an extra night right now. And he's like, we can't check in for tomorrow until after like
11 a.m.
11 o'clock or whatever. And we're like, no, I understand, like that's for tomorrow night, but we want to pay you right now for tonight. Even though tonight's mostly past, we would like to get into a room right now and just go ahead and pay you out of pocket for, tonight.
Right.
Anyway, after some back and forth, finally got it worked out, and we're able to communicate what we're trying to do. And he's like, okay, yeah, we do have extra room, so yeah, you can go ahead and check in early, and that's fine, and just pay for tonight. And he calculated and figured out what it was. And anyway, so we got things all squared away, got upstairs, crashed, and got some sleep.
It was so nice. We slept until the next morning till like 10 or like 10:30 a.m. Which was like the latest on the trip that we had like slept in at that point, which, makes sense because we didn't get in until 4. Anyways, we woke up the next morning and had breakfast / like lunch at the restaurant, and this hotel had an amazing restaurant. Like, the restaurant was actually built first, and then the hotel was built around it. So people in the community, they come there just for lunch, for dinner, and like, you know, birthday parties. I think there was even one time there. Like, it was amazing food. I
think we were there on a Sunday, and like there were a bunch of people coming in on the Sunday for lunch.
Oh yeah.
And it was really packed out. But yeah, it was great. And like the staff there were all amazing, like super friendly and awesome. So we had a great time in Calcutta. And if you go, definitely recommend the Hotel Homely Raj if you're going on a budget stay. I mean, it's not like the nicest place, but they were renovating it while we're there. And if you look at pictures online now, it actually does look pretty nice too. The outside's nothing fancy, but hey, if you want the Indian experience, it's pretty awesome.
It's amazing. And so yeah, it definitely is a very basic like room. And it was $23 a night, and it was a good location, pretty close to the Victoria Memorial, which is, you know, a really big attraction there, and we'll talk about that in the next video. But yeah, definitely would highly recommend. The staff was amazing at this hotel. The food was really amazing price, and it was, yeah, like $23 a night for the room is what we got through booking.com. Now with the renovations and stuff they've done, maybe the price is a little bit higher, but I doubt it's that much more. So definitely would recommend the friendly staff. Thank you for letting us in at 4 a.m. so we could actually like have some sleep. And
thank you again to our Uber driver for being so awesome, for being patient, running us all over, and being hospitable and showing us your city at night. It was so cool.
Yeah, we definitely tipped him very generously because he went above and beyond.
He was awesome. All right, that's it. We'll see you in the next video with our exploration of Calcutta.
See ya! The funny thing is, why do I always say the funny thing is?
I don't know.
This is our what, 44th country?
I think so.
Yeah, next to the place.
But anything else hanging down?
No.
You keep picking stuff off of me.
Yeah, like a monkey.